Hello and welcome back to Brandon's podcast, The Journey or Walk to Freedom. I am your host, Agaba Brandon, and in this episode, we are talking about fire. And from spark to spirit, we are unlocking the power of fire, the perils of fire, the prophecy from the Bible and beyond about fire. We are going to talk about fire in the literal sense, fire in metaphorical sense. I pray that you will be blessed. To begin, fire has been used in history for civilization. We were told in high school that man did not have fire at the beginning. He went through stages of using stones, using sticks to make fire. But also, it is not only in the past for civilization, but it also has been used as a catalyst for destruction. You have personal experiences here and there over your televisions. You have watched a lot of information concerning fire. So you know this. Fire. What is fire? In episode 1, we're going to talk about what could fire mean? What are the perils of fire? What are the effects of fire? And how can we really manage fire? Then in episode 2, we will look at what does the Bible say or talk about fire. And in the last episode, we want to draw lessons from the Bible or from life about fire and what we really can take of it. Fire is not necessarily a freak of just a match. Not really. It has incredible and diverse sources. Some are natural, some are human-made. So we delve into the sources of fire. You know them. But for those that are natural, look at volcanic eruptions. Look at what else we have called lightning, spontaneous combustion. These are natural sources of fire. Lightning, only a single bolt can strike dry vegetation, sparking a wildfire in the whole territory. Lava flows, hot ash, and gases from volcanoes can set surrounding forests and structures ablaze. Even dry leaves can set fire. But these are natural sources, and you may not have control over them. The second source is human-made. One, arson. People can be deliberate about setting fire. You might have personal stories or those you have watched over televisions, but you know that some fires are not by accident. They are deliberately made. Number 2 is the electrical faults. Faulty wires can be left in space, and as playing kids are doing their play, they are affected and fire sets up. We also have cooking accidents. Recently, I bought my liter of milk and I wanted to take my milk with passion, and I was trying to read and also cook. Somehow I lost about half a cup. Cooking accidents. Camping fires and open flames, these are not necessarily accidental, but they can spread when people are out enjoying themselves and have set a fire, but somehow fire goes wild. These are human-made. Discarded cigarettes, like we have seen in the natural that even dry leaves can create a fire out of nature. How about the man-made cigarettes, which are already with fire? They can also start fires and people die. Industrial accidents. These are sources of fire. Some are natural, some are artificial. You have control to some extent of where some of these fires find you. To talk about the natural, the lightning, the volcanic activity, spontaneous combustion, you have some control over whether this fire burns you or doesn't. You don't have control over whether this fire does happen or it doesn't. A volcanic eruption will happen whether you want it or not. It has power to kill you or not. It is in your hands. Sometimes that it can kill you, sometimes it may not, but we don't have control over whether it happens or not. For the artificial ones are human-made. We have seen that some are deliberately made to kill or destroy property. These fires could be important or useless or destructive, I mean. So, fire, from spark to spirit. We are unlocking the power of fire, looking at the perils of fire, and what prophecy is told about fire in and outside the Bible. So, point number one here we are learning is that not every fire is under your control. So for some you can control, for some you can't control. But at least for every piece of fire, you have control over where it finds you and how much it affects you, as we shall go deeper and deeper. So fire has many beginnings. Some have been mentioned, some have not been mentioned. But once it happens, its effects are varied. You know that the way fire affects your body is not the way fire affects this wood, is not the way it will affect this material, is not the way it will affect this grass. It will affect different material in different ways, depending on one, how hot or weak it is, and two, how strong the material is. So we are in set 2, we are talking about the effects of fire. After knowing its sources, we want to know the effects. Of course, we wouldn't want to begin with a negative. First of all, you have eaten well and gotten satisfied because of a good impact of fire. So fire is not useless. Even when it might be used for difficult and destructive reasons, it is important. Light. We know sometimes some of us are morning people, some are late night people, but it's mostly because of our reaction to fire. It provides light today and even in the days past. Of course, in the days past, it was much more. Today we have electricity. We have more forms of fire than we can imagine. Cultural significance. People in the old times would sit around fire, tell stories, play and what have you, even through the night, but it was cultural significance. And in this, we had ceremonies and celebrations. It was also used for warmth. It was used for purification, for rebirth in some cultures. So fire has a positive impact, like you know, like I know. In science, it is used for ecological benefits. Some fires are set on purpose, not to destroy as per se destroy, but that destruction helps reset the environment, help seedlings upcoming to grow well. So we are refreshing the earth. In that case, it is positively being used. Of course, we know that it is important in iron smelting and other tools that are made from use of fire in the old times and even today. For some reason, I think it is reason for things like slave trade, because it is where strong men were taken. Strong men were those who were not only physically strong, but also skilled to make some of these tools. Of course, it's not only positive. We had debates in our primary schools, mother is better than father. We also had debates like fire is a good servant, but a bad master. So there is the bad master in the fire. Loss of life, property can be destroyed, the environment can be damaged, as well as we can use it to help reset the environment. It can be put. We have heard of wildfires that have destroyed forests, houses, and what have you. Even in war times, fires have been used as destructive measures. Health issues. We are told that smoke contains some particles that can choke us. So you cannot even breathe well in fire. So it's destructive. And the last problem is economic disruption. One of the things that war is feared is because of how back that war sets different societies. Ukraine and Russia may not be the same in 3-5 years to come. Not really. And those war hit places may not be the same, because war, which uses mostly fire, burning buildings, burning civilizations down, makes places go far back. And resetting those societies back requires a lot of money, a lot of development, which might not be easily attainable. For this episode, this is what we have talked about. Fire has many sources, ranging from natural to human-made, intentional or accidental. And we have said, for that matter, that some you have control, some you do not have control over. Now, in our way or pathways to success or to freedom in life, we are going to face fires, literal or metaphorical. Our reaction to those fires matters. Our reaction to those fires will either mean that we shall grow or fail or not move at all. Some people will react to fire by crying and crying and crying, complaining forever. Some people will react to fire by crying for a short while, wake up, treat the wounds, and live life. How will you react to fire? Will you live life complaining, or will you take that as a lesson and move on from spark to spirit? I pray that the Lord blesses you. In the forthcoming episode, we are covering what does the Bible talk about fire. See you in the next episode.